Oh man, am I late to the party on this one, but today I want to do a quick comparison on two games that get mentioned in the same breath a lot, and that's HollowKnight and DeadCells. Today we try and answer which game might be right for you. Stay tuned. While following a lot of Nintendo or Switch-related forums, a ton of conversation has been had about the games HollowKnight and DeadCells, specifically which one is better or which one to buy. It's an interesting duo to compare because the games differ pretty drastically. Yes, they are both 2D side-scrollers that have platforming elements as well as very specific fighting mechanics, but otherwise they are very different games. For starters, HollowKnight tells a story. Granted, not in a direct way like with cutscenes or over-explanatory narration, but through character interactions and conversations. Here, you are given snippets of the world and the creatures that dwell and fight there. It's a great way to draw people in as the mythos and lore surrounding the carefully crafted world grew the more indirect information I got. In that regard, the game is captivating. If you were looking for a more direct storytelling experience, I didn't find it here. But beautiful environments, character animations, and music did make the game more enjoyable. The enemy battles were meaningful and required some thought as to how to identify attack patterns to succeed. If not, a quick death is all but assured, and the progression you made collecting items and resources is gone. You do have the ability, once you respawn, to go back to where you were killed and fight a demon version of yourself to get your stuff back. If you perish a second time, say bye-bye to your things. My personal problem was that the bigger the world got, the more confusing or frustrating I found it. It plays like a Metroidvania, meaning there was a lot of backtracking, and I frequently found myself at progression blocks until I bought an item, killed a boss, or stumbled across something I didn't know was there. Even when I was able to acquire a map, I checked it frequently and found myself lost in which way to go. Personally, I wanted a little more direction. DeadCells, on the other hand, has a thin storyline to set up a character and the actions, but doesn't do much in the way of using narrative to drive you forward. And honestly, it doesn't have to. The game starts you as a character resurrected to fight through different levels with different types of enemies. The world itself is procedurally generated, which is a plus here, but stands in stark contrast to HollowKnight. Once you equip starting weapons, which over time become randomly assigned as well, you take on dungeons, sewers, and castle rooftops with items and enemies placed seemingly at random. Traditionally, I'd argue for carefully constructed level design with an emphasis on guiding the player, but here the randomness is a strength. I never knew what I was going to find or where I would find it. Coming across a powerful weapon early meant I have a better chance of surviving longer, because once you die, all your stuff is lost. Unlike a traditional roguelike, however, you do earn power-ups that carry over. So even when your run comes to its inevitable demise, the resources you gain can be put towards something more meaningful. So which game is better? And really the better question is, why did these two games get roped into a purchase decision so frequently? But here's my 2 cents, keeping the level 30 gamer in mind. DeadCells. Honestly, that's as clear and blunt as I can put it, but DeadCells, I believe, is the better game. I think both are wonderfully crafted games. I think they control great, with DeadCells getting the edge in fluidity. Moving in a game has rarely felt so good as it has in DeadCells, and that is a huge factor. It plays a little faster, which suits the rules of the game better. Countless times I've finished a run only to say, okay, one more, and then one more, and then one more, and then one more, until it's too late and I need to go to sleep. The lack of story isn't a huge hurt in this regard. You almost play for personal triumph, which is fun, rewarding, and in times of late game levels, incredibly tense. HollowKnight overwhelmingly gets the win in terms of story, but as someone who is not a fan of Metroidvanias, I found the backtracking and lack of clear direction discouraging. DeadCells works better for the level 30 crowd too. Runs have natural stopping points and can last anywhere from 5 to 45 minutes depending on how well you're doing. It's also easier to pick up and play down the road. I couldn't imagine trying to figure out the labyrinth that is HollowKnight after putting down the game for a few weeks or months. DeadCells, on the other hand, I can pick up a day, a week later, and it just clicks. I'm a big fan of collecting physical copies of games, but this might be the rare occasion where I buy the digital download too. I just always want it on the Switch for quick pickups. I'm glad I played both, but if I had to answer the question which is better, I can definitely say DeadCells for sure. Check it out. Well, that's it for today. I'm sure you've noticed the set changes too, as the start of the school year has had me beyond crazy. I'm hoping to utilize my resources here at work and try to make and get timely videos out to you all. If you stood by me waiting for more, I really appreciate that. In fact, I'll be doing my best to tackle Super Mario Party in my next video soon. Until then, I'll see you in the next level.